Hello, students. Again, we are starting with the same chapter that we were going, that is the living organisms and their surroundings. In the last discussion, we had discussed about a very important terrestrial habitat, that is the desert environment. We had discussed about the different plants and animals, what can be found in the desert area with special reference to camel and cactus. So, after the discussion of that entire section, I hope you are clear with the desert environment. Today, we will start with another terrestrial habitats which is known as the mountain or mountains region. Now, in before going into the mountainous region, you know that is it is a type of a climate or a type of a region in which is in a higher altitude. So, what are the main climatic condition in the mountains? The characteristics of the mountain climate and ecosystems vary depending on the specific altitude. What do you mean by this? Suppose you are taking the example of a say parts of Himalaya. Now, in Darjeeling, Kurseong, these areas, the type of vegetation or the type of climate you will see, definitely when you will go to say altitude of about 10,000 or more than 10,000, you will not face the same type of climatic condition there. So the characteristics of the climatic condition and the ecosystem are very much variable according to the altitude of the mountain. And also it depends upon the landforms, depends upon the biomes, body of water surrounding the mountain, and proximity to the equator. That means how they are nearby to the equator. This entire section, this entire characteristics determine whether the climate, how the climate of the mountain is. But due to, in spite of having all these variations, they suffer or they show a very variety of the characteristics in the mountain region despite of its climate and weather. High elevations on mountains produce the colder climate. This is very obvious. Even from here to Kurseong to Darjeeling, if you move, in every altitude increase, you will find your coldness has increased. So that means as you go up from the sea level, your temperature will gradually drop down. That means you will feel colder. And these colder climate affects the ecosystem of the mountain. How? That means those plants, there are some plants, there are some animals which are characteristically present in the colder climate. They are habituated of present in the of presenting in colder climate. So these organisms are very much adopted to their colder climates. So different elevations have different plants and animals. Again, the kind of plant and animal you can see in the 4,000 feet, 6,000 feet is definitely different than in the 12,000 feet, 10,000 feet. So here we had seen that due to this difference in the temperature or difference in the altitude, it affects the temperature, and so it is the home to some of the greatest regions of biodiversity on the planet. and the part of this biodiversity is a result of rapid changes in climate based on altitude, which results in habitation of many types of organism. Now here we are coming into the concept of biodiversity. That means the variety and the variability of the animals or the plants which are found in the region, in any region. So due to the variation of the altitude, the climate also changes, and due to the change in the climate, the type of plants and the animals also changes, which ultimately changing the entire biodiversity of the region. Now, based on that climatic condition, we can find certain adaptive features of the certain plants which are present in the mountainous region. Now, the mountain region is actually a very cold and windy area, and in some regions also you can find a lot of rainfalls are coming, or sometimes the snowfall also. And these combination of the rain and the snow, they cause severe damage to the mountain plants. And also another factor is very much dangerous for the mountain, that is the due to excessive low temperature. Sometimes it is seen that especially in the winter times, all the water which is present in the soil particle gets frozen, as a result of which they become totally unavailable for the roots. So the plants which are used to having the water through the roots throughout the year cannot survive into that region. That also requires some special technique to survive in that area. Water evaporates also very fast in the mountainous region because of their high rainfall, and due to which uh, there are a lot of water lost through the leaves by the process of transpiration. And so, to withstand all these climatic conditions, the trees need to have certain adaptive features. Now, what are these? First one, the trees in the mountain are usually cone shaped. If you have seen, majority of the trees, no, there are exceptions as well, but the majority of the trees are maximally cone shaped. That means, why this cone shaped? Because the rainwater and the snow can slide off easily without damaging the branches and the leaves. That means the rainwater and the snow will not deposit on the tree leaves. Otherwise, if they remain in that condition for many a time, the leaves and the trees may rot, or they may suffer from any type of problems. Many mountain trees also have needle like leaves, due to which these leaves lose very little water. As I had already told, that many of the leaves lose water, they lost a huge amount of water. So, majority cases, mountainous leaves are seen to be present as a needle like structure to which they reserve or conserve the water. This helps the mountain trees to survive in winter when all the soil water is frozen in the form of ice and not available to the roots. So, as the trees are having the small needle like leaves, and these are lose very little water, that means the maximum water they absorb remains stored, and this property helps them to utilize that water when in very typical cold condition the water is frozen. In that time the plants or the roots are not getting the water, so they can use the stored up water. And apart from that, also the needle like leaves also having a thick waxy layer or the cuticle, which reduces the water through transpiration. And also a very the broad leaves trees found on the mountains shed their leaves before the onset of winter. That means before the winter is coming, they shed their leaves, and which prevents from losing the water and help in the survival during the winter when all the water in the soil is frozen. Why this or why it is helpful? Because broad leaves means more transpiration. More transpiration means more water loss. More water loss means in the winter time they are not getting adequate water to for its survival, so ultimately leading to death. So even if the trees are having the leaves with the broad base, they shed them before the winter so that they can be survived. So we had seen that by adopting different types of extra features, the mountain trees are adjusted to the surrounding situations of the mountain, and they are showing this type of adaptations. Here we can see different mountain plants, that is the cedar, the pine, the spruce. You can see in the picture there are many more flowers, many more pictures. You can see there's just this is an example. So I hope by my lecture it is clear to you now, that is the how the mountain trees or mountain plants are adopted to best suited in this mountainous, cold, windy, snowy environment. In the next class, we will learn about the adaptations shown by mountain animals. Till then, stay safe. Thank you.